The night the Spanish crown almost disappeared. What if everything Spain's royal family stood for almost vanished in a single night? Not through war, not through revolution, but because of a decision made in the darkness, with the future of an entire monarchy hanging by a thread. It was a night filled with fear, uncertainty, and impossible choices, a night when the Spanish crown came closer to collapse than most people realize. And had just a few events unfolded differently, Spain's history could have taken a completely different path. This is the night the Spanish crown almost disappeared. To understand what happened, we have to travel back to February 23, 1981. Spain was still finding its footing after decades under General Francisco Franco. Democracy was young, fragile, and under constant pressure. Many feared it wouldn't survive. That evening, as members of parliament gathered to vote for a new prime minister, the unimaginable happened. Armed officers led by Lieutenant Colonel Antonio Tejero stormed into the chamber. Gunshots echoed through the parliament building. Lawmakers dropped to the floor. Television cameras captured the chaos before the broadcast was cut. Across Spain, millions of people waited in terrified silence. Was this the beginning of another dictatorship? Would democracy end before it had truly begun? And perhaps most importantly, where did the king stand? At the center of the crisis was King Juan Carlos I. Some military officers believed the king would support the coup or at least remain silent. Others desperately hoped he would defend the constitution. For hours, nobody knew. Inside the royal palace, telephones rang constantly. Military commanders called. Government officials pleaded for guidance. Every passing minute made the uncertainty more dangerous. If the king hesitated, if he gave mixed signals, or if enough military leaders joined the rebellion, Spain's constitutional monarchy could have ended that very night. The crown itself was on the line. Finally, after tense hours of uncertainty, the king made his decision. Dressed in his military uniform, he appeared on national television shortly after midnight. His message was calm but unmistakable. He ordered the armed forces to remain loyal to the constitution and rejected the attempted coup. The effect was immediate. Military commanders who had been waiting for direction now understood exactly where the crown stood. Support for the coup began to crumble. One by one, key military leaders refused to join the rebellion. By the next day, the coup had failed. The monarchy and Spain's young democracy had survived. Looking back today, historians often point to that television address as one of the defining moments in modern Spanish history. It transformed the monarchy from an uncertain institution into a symbol of constitutional stability for many Spaniards at the time. But it's worth remembering just how close the country came to a different outcome. If the king had delayed, if more military units had sided with the rebels, if confusion had lasted only a little longer, the Spanish crown might have disappeared, not through abolition, but through the collapse of the democratic system it was sworn to protect. History often turns on battles, elections, or treaties. Sometimes, it turns on a single televised message delivered in the middle of the night. One speech, one decision, one kingdom holding its breath. And that is why the night of February 23, 1981, remains one of the most dramatic moments in Spain's modern history, a night when the future of the Spanish crown seemed ready to slip into darkness, only to emerge with a renewed purpose that still shapes the monarchy today.